Oh my god, finally. Something worth seeing at the movies. Wrath of Man is a 2021 crime thriller. I don't know, it probably was supposed to come out last year, who knows? But it's directed by Guy Ritchie, also written by him, Ivan Atkinson, and Marn Davies. Apparently, it's based, it's a American or British remake or whatever the fuck of some French movie called Cash Truck, but I haven't seen it. Mm. But the cast is great here too. We've got Jason Statham, Holt McCallany, Josh Hartnett, Scott Eastwood, so many others. Too many people to quite mention, but the story is exactly what you see on the trailer. In fact, that's one of the few things I have to complain about with this movie. One, I wish I hadn't seen the trailer. Wish I had just been seen the post or just something like that. Statham, Richie, I'm in. No questions asked. I wish I hadn't watched the trailer because it pretty much tells you everything you need. Everything, like the whole story, all of it, pretty much. Which is such a shame. But even though the trailer spoiled way too much of the movie for me, the movie itself was wonderful, and it's mostly because of, I guess, the characters, and it's not like what I remember Guy Ritchie movies being like. Yeah, he does a lot of crime movies, and he has a lot of brutality in his crime movies, but there's usually a dark humor about these movies that that kind of takes the sting out of the brutality, I guess. You know, it's something you can kind of chuckle at. This movie's not like that. In fact, what I describe this movie as, if I was to describe it to anyone into crime flicks, is or crime novels. If you've ever read anything by Richard Stark, you know those Parker novels. This movie feels sort of like a Parker novel in terms of its stark bleakness, cold hard characters, and just like intense action and stuff. And it's also structured in a similar way to a Parker novel. All right, so a Parker novel you'll have uh, part one, which is with Parker as he's doing something, and then part two might be about different characters that he's interacted with and how they react to Parker and how they got to where they're going. Part three might be the law or something like that, the other side of the coin, and how they get to that moment. And then part four ends up being the climax and the crescendo. This movie is structured like a Parker novel, and oh, I loved it. I love that aspect of it, and also love the characters from it. Now, the funny thing about that is Jason Statham has played Parker in a movie called Parker, which I haven't seen. I will say though, if you're expecting like fucking Jason Statham to go, "Gah, rah," it's not a lot of that. This is more of a character piece. There is action. It's mostly gunplay. So if you like seeing a bit of hand to hand Jason Statham, there's not that much of it. This guy's more of a marksman kind of character. There's some other really good characters. The other one I want to mention is Scott Eastwood. Holy shit, he looks like his dad. No wonder he's no wonder he's taken a role as like a. Uh, all right, I'm going to do a couple spoilers. So from here, for a couple minutes, might be some spoilers here. First one is Scott Eastwood playing a baddie. That's a good move. His dad did not play many. So if you want to, I guess, set yourself off a little different than your dad, this is the kind of character for you. He's great as this kind of ruthless, greedy, bank robber kind of guy. He's fucking incredible. I want to see more Scott Eastwood. Uh, just, just give it to me. Do it. Just keep hiring him and stuff. He's got the look. He's got the charisma, and yeah, I really liked him. Now I'm gonna do a mini complaint about a guy named Holt McCallany, and I'm not complaining about him. He's a good actor. He's good in this, except there's just one problem. As soon as I saw him, from the very first fucking frame, I was like, he's involved, and he was. Damn it! Now, that might have been intentional, I don't know, but I just kind of wish the mystery was more mysterious. We wouldn't know who the inside man was for a very long time. But, oh well, it happens. Movie unfolds at a steady pace. It's not it. It didn't feel too long either. Like it's 119 minutes, so almost 2 hours. Never felt like 2 hours. It felt like just kind of the perfect thing, and everything kind of builds up and crescendos quite nicely. And I really liked it. A big part of the reason I liked it as well is also the music. It's this kind of that kind of tune plays throughout all of it, and it's like this kind of creeping dread, which is so really well done. There's great characters from the side of the people driving the armored cars. I really liked the vast array of characters in that, and I found the crime side of it involving Jason Statham and his cronies also just as compelling. It's a really freaking good flick. I'm glad I watched it. It's not perfect. There were a couple niggles like that fucking trailer, man. And yeah, also just being like, I wonder who the inside man is. Oh yeah, it's that guy that I immediately suspected. Yeah, that aside, I didn't want it to end. I went to the movies to see this with my wife. We really liked it. It's got a harder edge to it than I expected it to. Like, I wouldn't say Guy Ritchie makes light-hearted movies, but they've got more of a fun crime vibe, if you know what I mean. This one has a more dark crime vibe. There's jokes in here, but it's not a very funny movie. But I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. Go see this at the cinema. Or don't see it at home, but watch it. It's really good. I enjoyed it. Give me a like. Dislike, share, and subscribe, all that shit.